All right, thank you. Make sure.
So she can record it.
So, yeah, so she can record it and everyone way in the back can hear me too, yeah. Convene a meeting, roll call, I guess we'll do. We don't need a roll call. All present. Public comments, I don't have any public comment cards, and so we'll move on to item number C, approval of the minutes.
Second.
First and a second, all in favor? Aye. Unanimous? On to the consent calendar.
Second.
First by Hudson, second by Abelson. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained? Motion carries unanimously.
Hopefully you don't have any cards.
On to item 10.0, regular agenda items. Mr. Engel.
Thank you, Chair Romick. Good evening, Commissioners. I was asked to. I was asked to.
You were voluntold.
I wasn't told. I guess I was told. Short is better. So now that I've ruined that concept, I will keep my comments short. You have the staff report in front of you. The request came to us from Transpac to look at a new way to provide the 511 services in Central and East County. So Randy has been asked 3 times, 4 times, 5 times to take a look at this. So we took a look at it, looked at 3 options. What the first option would be no change at all, which wasn't a good option in Transpac's perspective. The second option was that CCTA took over the program and absorbed the existing Pleasant Hill employees that run the program into the authority because of issues regarding space and potential costs and other things, having to move to a larger location. It wasn't a real good option for CCTA to do that either. So we looked at option 3, which was to contract the program out to our existing agency program management consultant, Stantec. Looking at that option, it will provide several opportunities for us, we think, that are all good. One is it will provide the fastest, in our opinion, and best opportunity for a seamless transaction and to continue existing programs. The Central and East Office has already started booking school appointments for next year for their safe routes to school assemblies, as well as the summer bike challenges that they're putting together for the summer. Another positive aspect is Stantec's real excited about bringing new energy and some out-of-the-box thinking to the program. Some of the programs that have been part of the 511 we feel have become a little bit stale. We're starting to see some drop-off in their use. We believe technology regarding ride sharing is a huge thing in our future, and we want to start moving in that direction. So we just think under those perspectives, Stantec seems like a good, reasonable choice to bring the service in. We're also proposing, and we'll be bringing more information back to you on this later, that the 3 offices currently, the Pleasant Hill office, the WICTAC office, and the SWAT office, as well as staff from CCTA, have been talking about doing a strategic plan for the 511 program, working on that this year, and just looking at what are the countywide projects, what are the projects that aren't working that well anymore, and how can we make some improvements to those, eliminate some projects that aren't working well, add some new projects, and maybe reconfigure some of the projects that we really consider being countywide. So I was going to introduce Habib from Stantec. I know you all know him, so I probably don't need to. It looks like he stepped out. Probably thought we'd come to this item later. I do want to provide Commissioner Durant and Commissioner Mitchoff an opportunity, being from Transpac, to make any comments or speak to this if they want.
Thank you, Ms. Mitchoff. All right. I know, she does that very well. No, I thank you, Peter. And yeah, I think option 3 is the one that Transpac felt most comfortable with. As you probably all know, we, I'll speak for the city of Pleasant Hill for a moment, has long had an interest in moving away from this particular program as the owner of the employees and so on. We had a little hiccup with the CalPERS thing and made a commitment that we wouldn't do anything until we had solved that issue. Now that that has been solved, knock wood, and thank goodness, we thought it was a good time to come forward, and there's Habib now, and bring this forward. And Transpac, also had a change of executive leadership. Is it a little over 2 years ago now when Barbara Neustadt retired. And we did not have a sort of a great set of candidates when we were looking at potentially getting a new executive director who would run both Transpac and 511 Contra Costa. And so sort of all of that led to this as what I think is sort of a good natural conclusion, gives the current employees of Contra Costa 511 an opportunity to potentially sign on to be employed by Stantec and to continue doing the good work there, and then also fundamentally to give the opportunity for this to be a broader countywide program. So I think that's sort of the good summary.
Any other questions, comments, Mr. Hudson?
Yeah, I agree with everything I'm hearing. I just would be remiss if I didn't ask the question. My city pops up a couple of times in this. Anything going on with San Ramon that I should know about? Or are we just sort of everything's okay and we're just going to keep going the way we are? This is a East County cool.
Yeah,
I didn't hear anything. So
yeah, so the mention of San Ramon and WCTAC in this are just to talk about how the existing program works and where the three offices are. We're proposing. So just to get back, so in July, I will bring to you normally in June, like you just approved in all these funding resolutions, I'll bring a resolution that will be, to look at a contract with the city of San Ramon, a contract with WCTAC, and then, a newly negotiated scope of work with Stantec to do the central and East County portion. We also want to start working with the city of Pleasant Hill to amend or terminate the two existing agreements that we have that still have funding with them. So that would be part of the approval tonight as well.
Okay. Get it. Oh, sheesh.
Sorry, I'm fighting with a gnat. I'll move the item.
Do we have any public comment?
No.
Oh, okay. I see Corbin back here. I'll second the item.
You got to second the first two. It was the first two. Okay. Well, I didn't get to say anything tonight. It's my first night as chairman. I didn't get to say anything.
Well done. Very good. And all of your
Wait. At least tell her who the first is. It's okay.
Okay. Very quickly here, I just want to say thanks to Pleasant Hill for caring for East County. I didn't know what was going on, so hey, this is wonderful that we're moving on beyond this and giving a little relief to the city of Pleasant Hill. And congratulations, Stantec. We look forward to working with you in the future and in enlivening and broadening this program up and moving forward with that. So I have a first and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Motion carries unanimously. And we are done. Finished.
I can say today we had a very successful media day with Honda at Gomentum Station. We had all the major news wires, AP, Reuters. We had Channel 2 News. We had just about every tech blog governing technology there. The bus was packed with the media, and they were just amazed at the technology that we showed them, that Honda showed them. They're also waiting eagerly for the Easy Mile shuttle that's coming our way. And so Habib and I and others are working on making sure we accelerate delivery of that. That's going to shock the world. I mean, well, maybe not the whole world. It'll shock the United States. But it's, so the media is very laser focused now is when is your next opening, or when is going to be your next delivery of this Easy Mile shuttle, and they're very excited about that. In the afternoon, we had a number of elected officials. It's probably getting close to 100 degrees out there. And Congressman DeSaulnier, we had a lot of staffers from various legislators, assembly, and senators. It was well attended, and we took them out to the test facility as well, including the Department of Motor Vehicles. So the two people, Bernard and Brian, that are working on crafting the regulations that we're crafting legislation to try to fix, they were out there as well. So well attended, a good spend time today, and kudos to Lindsay and her team and Irene, who did a great job of making sure this all went off flawlessly.
Do we have a date yet when that shuttle arrives,
It's still
the little toaster or whatever? July 15? Okay, so we can come in July 15 and go out there and run around and.
We're going to figure out a way of making sure that maybe the first stop is Bishop Ranch, and we just kind of sit it out for everybody to see, and then we take it, because you got a lot.
Yeah, or right there at City Hall, which is essentially.
City Hall?
Bishop Ranch.
Yeah.
You go from City Hall to Bishop.
Well, yeah,
We
you
get
don't
the
even have to go on the
legislation.
street, yeah. You don't even have to go on the street, yeah. Okay,
If you don't have to go on the street, well, then
Yeah.
we might be able to do that. That might be a plan.
okay.
We'll
And
work
it's
out-
very visible from a 8-lane road, that's why I brought
All
it
right.
up. You can do it with our new city manager.
Who's that?
Any other business?
We already closed it, that was it.
Yeah, news clippings, correspondence, we adjourn until July 6th. Thank you all for attending and being here on time and supporting us.